There comes a moment in every life when everything feels like it's falling apart, when doors that once opened easily suddenly slam shut, when the world grows quiet and your dreams, the ones that once set your soul on fire, begin to feel like distant echoes fading in the dark. And it's in that silence that most people quit. They mistake the struggle for failure, the resistance for a sign to stop, and the pain for punishment. But here's the truth that the greats knew, the truth that Napoleon Hill devoted his life to uncovering. Struggle is not the enemy. It is the birthplace of strength. Every ounce of greatness humanity has ever known, every invention, every empire, every movement, was born from the hands of someone who refused to surrender when the struggle hit. Edison failed 1,000 times before he found light. Lincoln lost elections before he won a nation's heart. Carnegie faced poverty before he built an empire. They weren't lucky, they were forged. Because struggle refines you. It breaks the parts of you that were never built to last. It exposes the lies you've believed about your limits, your worth, and your potential. And only when those lies die can the truth about who you really are come alive. You see, life doesn't hand you growth wrapped in comfort. It hides it inside discomfort. It buries it in uncertainty. It tests you with rejection, fatigue, and doubt, not to defeat you, but to prepare you. When you feel lost, when you feel stuck, when you feel like everything is falling apart, you're not breaking down. You're being rebuilt. The question is, will you trust the process long enough to see who you're becoming? Most people never do. They see the mountain, but not the view from the top. They feel the weight, but not the strength it builds. They pray for growth, but run from the very challenges that would deliver it. And that's why the few who don't quit rise. They rise not because they were stronger when they started, but because they stayed when it hurt the most.
The difference between those who grow and those who give up is not luck, it's mindset. It's what you believe when the world stops believing in you. Napoleon Hill wrote, "Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve." That's not a poetic line, it's a law of the mind. Belief is the seed from which every achievement grows. But belief alone is not enough. You must protect it, feed it, water it, and act on it daily, even when you see no results. The mind is a battlefield. Every day you fight two voices, one that says, "You can't," and one that whispers, "Try again." The one you listen to becomes your destiny. Most people surrender their belief too early. They let doubt rent space in their minds until it becomes permanent. But the winners, the ones who rise from struggle to strength, they defend their belief like treasure. They understand that the world around you is nothing more than a mirror of the world within you. If you see lack, it's because you've been thinking small. If you see failure, it's because you've stopped believing in your power to change. Your outer world expands only as far as your inner world allows. That's why personal growth must always come before external success. You can't build an empire with a defeated mind. You can't attract abundance from a place of scarcity. You can't inspire others if you haven't first conquered yourself. Your belief must become unshakable not because you never doubt, but because you refuse to let doubt win. Discipline your mind to see possibility where others see impossibility. Train it to turn rejection into redirection and obstacles into lessons. That's the essence of mastery, not control over circumstances, but control over your reaction to them. Every struggle carries within it a seed of equal or greater benefit. The stronger your belief, the faster you'll find that seed. But belief without action is just imagination. Faith without effort is fantasy. And so those who rise, act. They take imperfect steps toward a perfect vision. They fall, they bleed, they doubt, but they move. Because success never comes to those who wait for the storm to pass. It comes to those who learn to walk through it. There's a moment in every journey when belief alone won't be enough, when motivation fades, when your goals no longer feel exciting and the world feels indifferent to your effort. That's where discipline steps in the quiet architect of greatness. Discipline is doing what must be done, even when the mood is gone. It's the bridge between who you are and who you're meant to be. Every successful person you admire, every story you've ever heard about persistence, sacrifice, and triumph was built on one unshakable foundation: discipline. Napoleon Hill said it best: "The man who does more than he is paid for will soon be paid for more than he does." That's not just a statement about work ethic, it's about character. Because discipline isn't about control, it's about alignment. It's about aligning your daily actions with your ultimate vision, even when the world doesn't yet see what you're building. Think of the blacksmith. He heats the steel. He hammers it again and again, knowing that strength comes not from the first strike, but from repetition. Your habits are those strikes. Your consistency is your forge. And your purpose, that's the fire that keeps you going. Without purpose, discipline feels like punishment. With purpose, discipline becomes devotion. Purpose gives pain meaning. It turns sacrifice into investment. It gives you the strength to wake up earlier, stay longer, learn harder, and fight smarter. Because purpose whispers something no one else can hear. It says, "This is why you're here." Most people never find that voice because they're too busy chasing comfort instead of calling. They chase what feels easy instead of what feels right. But every person who's ever changed the world, from Edison to Jobs, from Lincoln to Hill himself, had a vision greater than their pain. They had a why so powerful that no amount of struggle could silence it. You must find that within yourself. You must ask, what am I willing to suffer for? Because whatever you're willing to struggle for, that's where your greatness lives. The formula of growth isn't about avoiding difficulty. It's about transforming it. There is no comfort in growth, and no growth in comfort. If your path feels too easy, you're walking someone else's journey. The right path will test you, stretch you, and sometimes even break you, but only to rebuild you stronger. And here's the paradox. You don't become strong because the struggle ends. You become strong because you stop needing it to end. Because the moment you stop running from the fire, you begin to rise from it. The universe rewards persistence. It always has. It always will. Every action, every thought, every ounce of faith is an investment in your future self. And while results may not show today, understand this: life is keeping score. The seeds you plant in struggle will bloom in season. But here's the hard truth most people miss. You can't fake discipline, you can't fake vision, and you can't fake purpose. Because success is not impressed by effort, it's moved by consistency. It doesn't respond to emotion, it responds to execution. When you commit to the process, when you give your all without needing applause, when you show up because it's who you are, not because of who's watching, that's when the world starts to move in your favor. Because life doesn't give you what you want, it gives you what you're willing to become. And becoming real, deep, lasting transformation takes time. It takes courage to confront your weaknesses. It takes humility to learn, discipline to stay, and faith to keep believing when every visible sign says, quit. That's why success isn't random. It's not luck. It's the law of cause and effect, the same law Napoleon Hill devoted his life to understanding. Every cause, every thought, every action, every choice creates an effect. The world you live in today is simply the echo of your past causes, and the world you dream of tomorrow will be the result of the causes you create now. So ask yourself, are you planting seeds of strength or excuses? Are you watering your goals or your fears? Are you building your dream or building distractions? Because the difference between where you are and where you want to be is not fate, it's focus. At some point, life will test the walls of everything you've built. It will shake your plans, your peace, even your faith, not to destroy you, but to reveal you. Because resilience is not born in comfort, it is discovered in chaos. When storms come, and they always do, most people pray for the rain to stop. But the strong, the rare few who rise above, they learn to dance in it. They learn that the purpose of pain is not punishment, it's preparation. Every challenge is a question the universe asks. How badly do you really want this? And the only honest answer is persistence. History remembers the names of those who refused to surrender when quitting would have been justified. Edison failed 1,000 times, but every failure whispered, "Try again." Ford was told he didn't understand business, yet he revolutionized it. Walt Disney was fired for lacking imagination, but his vision still paints the dreams of millions. Their secret wasn't talent, it was tenacity. They all understood the same truth. Adversity introduces you to yourself. Because when the plan falls apart, what remains is character. When everything you depended on disappears, what's left is your will. And if your will is unbreakable, so are you. Resilience isn't just surviving, it's converting pain into power. It's turning setbacks into strategy, losses into lessons, frustration into focus. Every scar you carry is proof that you didn't stop. You endured what others couldn't, and that endurance becomes your advantage. But here's what most forget: resilience alone is not enough. If you fight every battle angry at the world, you will exhaust yourself. True strength is paired with gratitude. Gratitude is not weakness, it's wisdom. It shifts your energy from "why me" to "thank you." Because the moment you start appreciating the fight starts shaping you differently. Gratitude turns struggle into growth, and growth into peace. It teaches you to see light in the darkest rooms. It reminds you that no failure is final, and no delay is denial. Sometimes life withholds success not to punish you, but to perfect you. You're being prepared for what you've prayed for. You're being molded for what you're meant to handle. Every difficulty is a silent rehearsal for destiny. And if you can learn to say thank you in the middle of the storm, then no storm will ever be strong enough to break you. This is the paradox of greatness. The stronger you become, the softer your spirit must remain. Resilience without gratitude hardens the heart. Gratitude without resilience weakens the will. But when the two merge, you create unstoppable grace, the balance of power and peace. When you start living from that space, you stop chasing validation. You stop measuring your worth by applause or recognition. Because true power is quiet. It doesn't shout, it shines. It doesn't demand attention, it commands respect through consistency. Success isn't about being seen, it's about being certain. Certain in your vision, certain in your discipline, certain in your purpose. The world bends for those who carry that kind of certainty. But here's the truth: you cannot borrow it, and no one can give it to you. It's earned, forged through decisions made when no one is watching. When you choose progress over pleasure. When you choose effort over excuses. When you choose to believe in yourself long after the evidence has disappeared.